We got a 1960 through 1962 Chrysler aluminum block slant 6 that Chrysler cut up as a training aid to be used at shop class. What I ended up having to do to it, it was seized up when I got it about 15 years ago, and I had to take the rings out of it, took the bearings out of it, greased everything up. I put the alternator on it, fan on it, carburetor on it, so it kind of looks realistic. And I put a Chrysler starter on it, cut it up, put an electric motor on it. Now it turns 20 RPM. You can see everything worked. You can see the pistons going up and down in it. Cam rotates the lifters. Neat little piece. On this right here, you can actually see the connecting rod rocking back and forth on the pin as it travels up and down. And what people don't think about when they see something like this, you gotta realize the piston actually stops and changes direction and comes back down and stops and changes direction and goes back up. This thing's only running 20 RPM. If you think about it, your car idles at 800 RPM, and when you stand in it, it more likely the shift points at right around 6,000 RPM. And that piston is changing direction every time it goes up and down. It's just hammering itself. And it's just amazing. Everything stays together if you think about the forces involved this going along. You can see the valves, intake, exhaust working. That was an intake. Now you got a compression stroke, comes down, goes back up. There's your exhaust, intake again, compression. It would fire, push it down, exhaust. It's a neat piece to be able to explain how an engine works in a car. So.
Tammy, I see this car an awful lot at different car shows. It is beautiful. What is it?
It's a 61 Plymouth Fury.
And how did you come across it?
My best friend, it was her grandpa's car.
Oh, really? And so tell us that story. How did you get it?
Well, he passed away, and so they kind of couldn't figure out what to do with her. And I volunteered to give up my space for her until they figured it out, and then I guess they just threw up an offer, couldn't refuse.
You just fell in love with it. Had you seen the car before that?
I did. I grew up watching the car out by 145 truck stop at the McDonald's car shows and watching it, and him pulling it out and just sitting in the driveway with it and then putting it back in.
Yeah, that's the way cars do that, right? You see the right car and you just fall in love and you got to have it.
You do, and it was astounding just to see that car growing up, and then somehow I end up with that same car. It was great.
What an amazing story. Now, did you have to do a lot of work to it?
I haven't done a single thing to it.
Wow, it looked like that.
It looks just like this. New tires and a tune-up, the basic stuff, and that's it.
Well, you're very lucky to own that, and just enjoy it.
I am, very much.
Thank you. Yeah.
Sure.
It's just incredible.
Can I get you with the car for a couple pictures?